Quentin Tarantino praises Joker 2. I really, really liked it. The entire concept, even him spending the studio's money. He's spending it like the Joker would spend it. The comic book geeks, he's saying fuck you to all of them. He's saying fuck you to the movie audience. He's saying fuck you to Hollywood. He's saying fuck you to anybody who owns any stock at DC and Warner Brothers.
Is that sounds like backhanded a little bit.
Yeah, you know what?
I don't know what to make of this.
I think that he's upset. I wonder if he wanted to do something with DC and they said no.
No way.
And now he's like, yeah, waste their money. Burn it to the ground. I love this movie. Do it again. He doesn't like the movie.
I don't think so, because what Tarantino does, Tarantino funds all of his own movies. He does everything. There's no studio. Tarantino films his own movies with his own fucking money and then sells it. Tarantino doesn't answer to fucking anybody. So I don't think that necessarily is what's going on.
Or maybe he just hates the current state of Hollywood.
I think he hates the studios, and this is his way of saying, Todd Phillips, good on you for fucking the studio, maybe?
Yeah. So there's a growing attitude about what's going on with this Joker 2 thing, that what Todd Phillips did was he did not want to make a Joker 2. So he basically pulled an art piece of making Joker 2 something as chaotic and fucked up as the Joker would make it. So like basically people are starting to praise him for like, oh man, he totally like subverted the studio's expectations. He wasted everybody's time. He wasted everybody's money. Nobody expected him to go in this direction, which is totally a Joker thing to do. And I get the attitude. I don't know if Todd Phillips actually put that much thought into any of this. This is the same thing that happened with like the Matrix Revolutions when it came out, and everybody said that Lana Wachowski, that she purposely made a bad film to make the studios not want to make any more Matrix films, that she basically stuck it to them for giving her all this money to do this, but didn't want to make another one because they told her they were going to make it without her, regardless. So, and that's the thing, I don't know, because the proof is in, is Todd Phillips going to get blacklisted in Hollywood? Because if you actually do this, you'll get blacklisted. Like, is Lana Wachowski not making any more movies? I don't know. But like Beardo said, Tarantino kind of is always going up against what studios want. He does his own fucking thing, and he always has. So I don't know. I think maybe he talked to Todd Phillips and learned something that we didn't know. I don't know.
Phillips. Sorry, Jeremy. I disagree with Todd Phillips, like thinking I'm going to develop this movie as Joker would. I think that's giving them too much credit. I think the movie just straight up sucked. I just think it sucked.
Okay, so let me qualify. I'm not really a fan of Tarantino's movies. I know he's super popular. I don't like Tarantino's movies, and I don't like his style. Generally, I mean, there's a couple of movies that I think are okay, but like he has a massive fan base, and they love his movies, and I respect that. They're just not. It's not for me. It's not my cup of tea. Whatever. He typically marches to the beat of his own drum, which I do appreciate and respect. This to me sounds like he is reaching so fucking far to make this seem like it's something that it's not. This is as simple as Todd Phillips did not like the audience that they identified with the first Joker movie. He didn't want to do a second Joker movie. They threw enough money at him and he couldn't turn it down. And so he's already going to get paid. He didn't want to do the movie.
Yeah.
So he took an opportunity to go, well, I'm going to get paid and I can at least denounce this toxic audience that identifies with this movie from the first movie. Sure. It's really that simple. There's really nothing else to this. It's that simple. The movie is terrible. I watched it. I went to the theaters and watched it because I had to do the Piers Morgan appearance. I would have not watched this movie otherwise, but I wanted to make sure I went to see the movie to make sure I knew what I was talking about. The movie's dog shit. It hates the audience. But Todd Phillips did exactly what he wanted to do with this movie. He accomplished what he wanted to accomplish, and what he accomplished was dog shit. It's that simple. This is not more complicated than that. So that's my take on it right there. So
yeah.
Fuck this movie. It's dog shit, and it does hurt the first film. I don't know if did you ever see the first film, Ripa?
Yeah, I reviewed it.
What'd you think of the first one?
I thought that it was but despite my issues, I gave it a generally positive review, and my approach was it can be passed as a potential like origin film for the Joker. Right now, I'm going into that with the expectation that, well, it's not like I knew that they were going to make another one, but and this is why I hate how they handled Bruce in that, him being so much younger and everything. But if they were going to do another one, I was anticipating that it was going to be like, we were going to get some like more nods, I guess, to the comic stuff, related stuff. And obviously, we we didn't get that. We got whatever the fuck that was. But yeah, I tried to look at it objectively. Like, I know people think I just hate fucking everything, but if you go watch my review, it's still live. I gave a generally positive review for that.
Yeah, I enjoyed the hell out of the first Joker movie. I thought it was great, and it needed to be a one-off, and that's it. Craig, I don't know if you ever saw it. Did you see the first one?
No, I didn't see the first Joker. I've heard really good things about it, and I've seen all the memes about it. Him walking up and shooting the guy in the face, and was it De Niro he shoots in the face, the talk show host?
Yeah,
I've seen all the memes and everything, and I got the spoilers for the second one. I know how it ends, so I got a pretty good idea. But every time I thought about going to see the first one, it had to do with like, well, there's a second one coming out, and then they said, well, the second one's going to be musical, and I was like, well, then I'm out. And didn't really have any desire to go back and see the first one because of that. So
it's so weird because like quit answering questions that nobody's asking or that they don't want answered per se. No one was wanting a second Joker film. Nobody. As I said, once you go back to that, there's no answer that's going to make the audience happy. It's just like Inception. Leave the audience with their own interpretations of the end of Inception, which is what Nolan did.
Yes.
Leave it. Like, speculation as to what happened after that. If Nolan makes another Inception movie, it will be bad. It will straight up be. And like, think about how and I know I love The Dark Knight Rises, but I know a lot of people don't like it. But think about if we never got another Dark Knight and you just have your imagination to think about what happened after that movie. Now, people would still be wanting another Dark Knight to this day if they left us on the Dark Knight ending with Batman taking the fall for Harvey. Endless questions, endless anticipation. It would have been incredible. Those questions did not get answered and properly addressed in The Dark Knight Rises. Yeah. Now, you can say, well, a lot of that had to do with Heath Ledger's death and the time jump and all that, and that's fair, I guess, but it still doesn't change the fact that we didn't get the proper payoff for the ending of that movie. So this is a movie that I don't think people even really had a lot of questions about. The first Joker, no one was just going, oh my God, I got to know what happens. I got to know what happens. They're like, no, this is good. I feel good about this. We won one off. It's isolated and it worked. But here we are with it. And it's going to be one of the biggest flops of all time.
And that's because, Jeremy, it was enough. Because the Joker is a character where you don't want to say too much. It's better left open-ended. We don't need to know the exact origin of the Joker. We already, as far as comic books go, we already kind of have a basis of the Joker's origin. We don't need to know because then it dilutes the character as far as Joker goes. And Joker is such a unique character where we'd much rather not know the exact origin of the Joker because that's what makes him so interesting and compelling. We don't need to know. That's why we didn't need a sequel. The first one was enough. We've seen just enough. We've seen a little bit of backstory. We've seen how he got there, and then done. We don't need it. It was a character piece in its own isolated movie. We don't need a sequel because Joker is just that kind of unique character. We don't need to keep diving into the origins of Joker.
Agreed.
You know what I'm saying?